It's a Thursday, 23rd of December, 2021. Greetings from Rwanda's capital, Kigali, and apologies for a little delay in tonight's edition. These are the headlines.
This Thursday, the government of Rwanda and the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank signed a $100 million financing agreement to fund Rwanda's digital acceleration project.
About 273 teachers from Zimbabwe are set to come and teach in Rwanda's secondary and TVET schools.
As preparations for the end-of-year celebrations continue in Kigali, residents say that they cannot fail to adhere by the COVID-19 prevention guidelines so that no harsh measures are taken, including a stay-at-home measure.
A very good evening to you and welcome to Rwanda Television News. My name is Sam Kalisa.
And my name is Martina Awera. How are you?
Martina?
I'm very good. How are the festives treating you?
Of course, very well as we adhere to COVID-19 prevention measures.
Definitely. Let's all try and keep safe this period of time.
Absolutely.
Yes. So on to the first story. This Thursday, the government of Rwanda and the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank signed a $100 million financing agreement to fund Rwanda's digital acceleration project. The project will support short and long-term recovery by increasing access to broadband, selected digital public services, and strengthening the digital innovation ecosystem. Ethan Tashobia with more.
At Inwari Primary School and Kabusunzu Health Centers in Kimisagara sector in Kigali City, internet has become part of life. Officials and employees say the internet is very important in all their activities.
We really need technology because we teach children about the machines they have. We, the authorities, are in dire need of internet access to send reports, to receive messages from all over the world, and to find access to information from all over the world.
Internet has simply become everything we need. When a patient checks in, from the receptionist receiving them to the insurance system, all they need is internet for anything to be done. Internet has become part of our everyday life.
Bisaba ko dukenera internet mu buzima bwa buri munsi.
Some people whose daily work largely depend on internet connectivity demand that all issues related to internet be resolved.
Ni gahunda y'ibigo nderabuzima ngira ngo bagiye baduha uwo murongo wa fiber.
Fiber is already here, but we don't use 4G internet because they haven't done the installation yet, which means we use the internet from other telecommunication companies, and sometimes the internet crashes.
We had access to the internet, but because of the new building, there was an outage, which made it impossible for us to access the connection from Rebero Tower, which we used. It was covered by the tall building next to ours. We want to revitalize it as soon as possible because it is still very much needed at work.
The problem of internet access in schools and clinics is one of the reasons why the Rwandan government acquired a $100 million financing facility from the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank to fund Rwanda's digital acceleration project. The project will support short and long-term recovery by increasing access to broadband, selected digital public services to strengthening digital innovation ecosystem. The Minister of Finance and Economic Planning, Dr. Uziel Ndagijimana, says Rwanda's digital acceleration projects will not be limited to providing internet in schools and clinics.
The main objective of this project is to support Rwanda's economic recovery from the pandemic and to support the resilience for future pandemics by increasing access to broadband and selected digital public services and strengthening the digital innovation ecosystem in Rwanda. The project will have four main components, namely digital access and inclusion, digital public service delivery, digital innovation and entrepreneurship, and project management. This project comes to support government of Rwanda's efforts to recovery from COVID-19 pandemic and to implement our national strategy for transformation with a focus on establishing Rwanda as a globally competitive, knowledge-based economy.
Rwanda's digital acceleration project now has accumulated a total fund of $200 million, including a recent $100 million loan from the World Bank. The additional $100 million from the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, signed on Thursday, will be repaid after 5 years at an interest rate of 0.5% over the next 35 years. Reporting for RTV News, Ethan Tashobia.
Thank you very much, Tashobia, for the report. Moving ahead, about 273 teachers from Zimbabwe are set to come and teach in Rwanda's secondary and TVET schools. This is a result of an agreement signed on Thursday between Rwanda and Zimbabwe to exchange teachers. And now, as Jen Mutoni reports, the agreement was signed virtually based on the vision of the two countries to build a knowledge-based economy. We do have more.
During a virtual meeting between representatives of Zimbabwe and their counterparts in Rwanda, an agreement between both countries was signed on both sides by the Minister of Education, Dr. Bulletin, and the Minister of Public Service, Labour and Social Welfare in Zimbabwe, Professor Paul Mavima. This 5-year agreement was signed for the sole purpose of building a knowledge-based economy. The discussions focused on the exchange of selected teachers from Zimbabwe who will be teaching in different levels of education in Rwanda, as explained by Dr. Bulletin.
We had already started to discuss about staff exchange, mainly for English and STEM programs. But along the discussions, we come up with a broadened area of cooperation for different levels of education, not only focusing on primary and secondary, but also higher education, tertiary education, even TVET. So today we signed the Memorandum of Understanding, but it has to be followed by the work the technical team are going to sit and then draft clearly the terms of reference for the recruitment of those teachers, but also assess what is needed in the country, not only in the education sector, because if you've seen, we signed the memorandum with the Minister of Labour in the Republic of Zimbabwe because we want to expand and explore more possibilities of cooperation.
Professor Paul Mavima assured Rwanda that Zimbabwe will do its utmost best to provide professional teachers so that this partnership yields tangible results.
On our part, I wish to confirm that the necessary pre-departure training of the selected personnel will be conducted to ensure that they easily fit and adjust to working life in Rwanda. An opportunity will be accorded for the members of Rwanda in Harare to give proper orientation to our citizens regarding what to expect in Rwanda. Honorable Minister, you have my assurances that the professionalism and work ethic of the people of Zimbabwe is well recognized.
This agreement was agreed upon after President Paul Kagame called on Zimbabwe to provide Rwanda with qualified teachers during a meeting on investment and trade between the two countries, which took place in Kigali last September. Dr. Valentin Uwamaria says this partnership is a game changer as teachers from Zimbabwe will share their expertise with those in Rwanda.
There is a huge benefit from this because we will focus on the schools that teach educators, focusing on education. So in the long run, we want to benefit from those experienced teachers to train our own teachers for the purpose of sustainability, because we cannot rely on them for long. So they are going to train our teachers, but also learn from them what they are doing differently and copy it and apply it in our system or wherever possible. So we see it as a more sustainable way of partnership because we are going to train our own teachers.
There is a committee consisting of members from 4 ministries in each country who will meet and agree to the implementation of this agreement in 2022. Jane Mutoni, reporting for RTV.
Thank you, Jen Mutuni, for the report. Moving on to other matters. As preparations for the end-of-year celebrations continue in Kigali, residents say that they cannot fail to adhere by the COVID-19 prevention guidelines so that no harsh measures are taken, including a stay-at-home measure.
When you walk around the city of Kigali, especially on the main streets, you see different ornaments as a sign of preparations for the end-of-year festivities. However, compared to the decorations that were there before the pandemic, it is not as extravagant. Alexi and Emerit Uwineza have been trading in Remera Kisimenti for many years, and they say that these days customers come one by one due to the fear of contracting the COVID-19 virus. Around this time of the festivities, it is not like how it used to be. The number of people coming to buy is very small. People are very scared. You can tell by how it is less crowded, the social distancing, and so on and so forth. You can really see a big difference compared to how it used to be. In the Mateus and Comercial corners, the congestion of people coming to shop is always there. Nevertheless, there is nothing out of the ordinary that shows that there are end-of-year holiday preparations taking place, except different shops here and there that sell holiday decorations. Traders are optimistic that in the next few days the number of customers will increase, despite the fact that there is fear from the buyers as they are worried of what the future holds, in line with the unexpected surge in the COVID-19 infection cases.
There are people coming to buy clothes for the festives, others coming to buy food and decorations. However, it is not a big turn-up like how it used to be. These times are really tough on everyone. When the new variant hit, it took everyone back a few steps. But we are used to this life now. It is our new normal. Due to the measures that were taken recently to reduce the spread of the new COVID-19 variant, there are less and less people coming in to buy things. We don't want to go back to staying at home, so it is understandable that people would be afraid of not complying with the measures.
In the recent days, the Rwandan government issued new COVID-19 protection measures and amended them to reduce the number of infections. The private sector finds that the failure to implement these regulations is a serious mistake, as it has a negative impact on trade.
When you enter the market, they ask you for a vaccination certificate. And when you don't have it, and you don't have a paper from RBC, they ask you to go back until you get one. This will definitely reduce the number of those that come into the market, hence reducing the infection rate.
Private Sector Federation spokesperson Theoneste Nagengerwa says that while traders are looking for a high-paying business, the main thing is to protect their health.
Last month, there was a lot of hope. Things were looking up, and traders were optimistic that they would gain a lot around this season. However, this new variant has taken away that hope, and you can see that some of them are worried. Those that were planning to sell products that are in line with this season are especially devastated. However, they shouldn't completely lose hope because they should realize their health matters.
Recreation and entertainment activities were part of what was halted due to the high number of new COVID-19 cases from the new variant Omicron, as this was the same case last year when the Delta variant hit.
And clicking on other matters now. Today, 23rd December 2021, a total of 302 special operations forces completed an 11-month basic special operation forces training at a basic military training center in Nasho. They include 18 junior officers who are lieutenants and 284 private ranks, including 12 females. The milestone demonstrates another step in achieving the objective of developing forces with special force skills provided by the Rwanda Defense Force Leadership Guidance. The newly trained group demonstrated effective skills in special operations, tactics, river and water crossing, military topography, combat engineering, airborne operations, shooting, as well as hand-to-hand combat skills. The graduation ceremony was presided over by the Army Chief of Staff, Lieutenant General Mubarak Muganga, on behalf of the RDF Chief of Defense Staff. In his remarks, the Army Chief of Staff commended the graduates for their milestone achievement, commitment and discipline. He also appreciated the leadership of the training center for their effort in forming the officers and men to meet RDF expectations. He urged them to use the special skills acquired to protect the sovereignty of Rwanda and protect its people and keep the readiness, observe high discipline, ethics and core values of RDF as legacy from their predecessors. And to other matters now, Martina.
Definitely. A new study conducted in 11 African countries, including Rwanda, indicated that young people who comprise the bigger population on the continent need to engage more in technology-based agriculture if the continent is to achieve its goal of food security by 2063.
Norman Mugisha is a young man who came up with a technology solution to connect farmers in Musha sector in Rwamagana district with buyers in Kigali. Using his technology website, AfriFarmer, Norman Mugisha explains how he connects farmers and buyers in Kigali.
So what we want is how can we support these farmers on the farm, sell their produce on the farm, have stable market, leveraging technology like e-commerce platform where they can sell directly to consumers. So the consumers can get affordable prices, but also farmers can have access fair prices for their produce. In that way, they can be able to increase their economic income. And the other way of how we are supporting these farmers is how do we use also technology to help them improve their production, because when they have increased production, the quality of produce, also the production increases and the price increases, and also they can earn more from their produce. But when they continue producing traditional way of doing it, it's really complicated. And the way we are doing, actually, we are working with young people, mostly between 18 and 35, that we are engaging, encouraging them to apply new technologies.
We found some of these farmers in Musha sector of Rwamagana district. They testified that the technology saved them from moving miles to take their produce to the market with risks of damage. We earn money easily because we used to go to the market and rain could sometimes stop us. We are lucky to have AfriFarmers because it came closer to us.
We used to encounter losses because we had to pay transport fees, and sometimes our produce could fail to get buyers, but now buyers come to us.
A study conducted from 11 African countries by Heifer International, an international NGO, and was presented on Thursday, indicated that the youth in these countries have a lot in common, including the lack of access to financial institutions and shortage of land. Senjumva Francois, a representative of farmers at the Private Sector Federation, noted that the agriculture sector needs a fund that provides loans on small interest rates and longer period before paying those loans, owing it to the fact that agricultural activities take time to give up returns. We need loans that correspond to the nature of work we do, so that we can work and pay back after we have sold our produce. We discussed it with the Ministry of Agriculture and Animal Husbandry. Procedures to start implementing this have started in partnership with the World Bank, and we need it to be speeded so the private sector can invest in agriculture. Dr. Elise Kamanzi from Heifer International Rwanda says that efforts should be made to ensure farmers have easy access to finances needed to improve farming and integrate technology into Rwanda's agriculture system.
Generally, we have realized that one of the hindrances to youth in engaging into agriculture is the lack of collateral that they can present to the bank as a security for the financing they will be receiving. Currently, we are into discussion with the Bank of Kigali. We are exploring options of providing financing on softer terms. And when I'm talking of softer terms, I'm looking at lowered interest rates, less requirements for a collateral, and probably de-risking the financial sector by providing first loss guarantees.
Africa imports food worth $65 billion every year, despite the continent owning 60% of the world's uncultivated land, plus lakes and rivers that are not made productive.
And on behalf of the entire news production team that made it happen, thank you very much for being with us. My name is Sam Kalisa.
And my name is Martina Abera.
And absolutely, as we continue enjoying the festive season, remember to stay safe.
And have a great night.
Bye.